recently went to Italy for my honeymoon, and in today's video I want to share with you what I bought and brought back home. I did have a wish list for this trip that dates back years ago. Kyle and I both knew that we were gonna go to Europe for a honeymoon since we got engaged. And though I did not get every single thing on my wish list, I did get most of it and other things that were not necessarily on my wish list. Towards the end of the video, I'll talk about the tax refund that you get at the airport when you buy internationally, especially in Europe. So stick to the end if you're interested, and let's get started. On our trip, we visited 3 different cities: Venice, Florence, and Rome. And so I'm gonna go through the items in the order that I got them. The very first thing that we bought unplanned on our very first day in Venice was a couple of hats. I got 2 and Kyle got 1. We had just arrived from the airport, checking into the hotel, took a shower, and got ready to go and find something to eat. On the way there, we came across this store that sold hats. Decided to come in, not expecting anything, and met these 2 amazing Italian ladies. They talked to us about their local Italian family business and how it's been passed down from generations. They had us try a couple of hats, and though they did not speak any English whatsoever, my very little Italian, mostly Spanish, was enough for them to understand me, and we communicated that way, so that just made it more fun. The first hat that I got and that I knew I wanted as soon as I tried it on is this wool beanie. It's 100% wool, and it's just a regular beanie, but I have been looking for something like it and I have forgotten. Kyle reminded me that I have been trying some on here in the States and just never found one that I truly love as much as this one. And so when she showed me this one and put it on for me and styled it, I knew that I wanted it, and so I bought it. Nice and comfortable, very practical for the colder months, and because of the color, it's something that's gonna go well with everything else in my wardrobe. This next one is something that I have been on for a while, and I didn't buy it because when I was looking through the website here in the States, the prices were a little up there because it is genuine leather. I put it on and I knew I wanted it. I was still a little hesitant because I imagined that it was gonna be again in the hundreds of dollars, and it wasn't. And she gave me an extra discount for both hats, so that was extra nice. I couldn't wait to style it, so I wore it the very next day there in Italy. We went to the island and spent the day there, did a boat ride, and so I wore a black turtleneck, a sleep dress, and black boots, and I felt very chic and stylish. And this just gave it that extra edginess to the outfit in a way to style it again with other pieces that I have in my wardrobe. The next thing that I'm gonna quickly talk about are postcards, and they are these beautiful postcards that we bought. I want to frame a couple and maybe put them in the kitchen or even the living room, and then a couple others are to give as a gift. So we bought some for immediate family members, and so they can either frame them as well or send it to somebody else. They have this nice texture, almost like raw paint to them, and though I do not think because of the price that they are singly hand painted, but they look like it, and so that's why I like them. We also got 2 sets of playing cards, kind of the same concept, but these ones you can actually use them for playing games, and so we plan to give one and keep one set. And they have these images of Venice, or I think Italy in general, so it's nice and beautiful to look at when you're playing. Venice is known for their carnival mask. If you go there, you'll see them everywhere. That's their thing. And so I wanted to get something with that. And so I got 2 things. The first one was a magnet to put on my fridge. I used to collect those and put them on my fridge. I don't anymore because I don't like my fridge to look cluttered. And so what I have, I put it on a magnetized board, and that's how I keep them organized and not clutter on my fridge. But this one I do want to keep on my fridge. It's not only something interesting and different to look at, but can also be practical. If we ever need to hang a note from the fridge or on the fridge, then we can use that to keep it together with the fridge. Speaking of kitchen, I also got this kitchen towel. I was walking around and came across it and I couldn't pass it. I wanted to get it in a neutral color so I could use it regardless of the color theme I decided to go for. It's made of 100% cotton, so it's not only good material for a towel, but it's also one that is sustainable, which I try to look for. On the towel, it has this interesting grapes and vine design. The other mask related thing that I got is this little jewelry box. They did have different sizes, but I decided to go for this size because of what I needed for, but also it is a mask and so it's not so much of my style, but I did wanted to get something like it. I plan to use it for my everyday rings, so I do take them off before I go to bed, and so I'll keep the box either in the kitchen or next to my bed and my nightstand, so that way before I go to bed I can take them off, and when I wake up I can put them back on. That's not something that's only interesting and different to look at, but it's also practical because I can keep my rings nice and safe there, and they'll be ready for me when I wake up every morning. This next piece may be my favorite piece of them all, and it is this beautiful ring. We got it in Venice. Same thing happened with this ring as with the hats. We're not planning on buying anything. We just went in and browsed around, and I saw it and I thought it was very interesting, and I did not think it was gonna look as good as it looked on my hand, or that I was gonna like it as much. And so we went back to the hotel after spending all day there and thinking about it. I couldn't stop thinking about it, and came back the next day and I got it. It's not something that you will see anybody around wearing something similar to this. It's very unique, and it has its history. It's made in Venice. It has this ancient looking Roman figure in the middle on top of this coral gem, and then of course the gold. Very interesting and artistic looking piece that I'll treasure forever. I even thought about getting one for my mom and one for my sister, so eventually I do plan on getting one for them, and that way we can share the same precious little thing that this is. The next city that we visited was Florence, and in Florence I only got one piece, but what a piece. This is a trench coat, which at this point you can say that I'm building a trench coat collection. So this one is a different one because the ones that I have are the traditional neutral or camel color, and this one is a two-tone, so it has this brown and this almost olive green color. I do wear them a lot, and so they are a staple piece in my wardrobe. It's made in this very thick 100% cotton material, and it's fully lined, so it brings more warmth than an otherwise not lined cotton material trench coat. Brown is one of my favorite neutral colors, especially for this season. It is a trendy color one, which is trendy, but it's also a timeless color. And I'm just so excited to have this new addition to my wardrobe, and I cannot wait to start styling it. The next and last city that we went to visit was Rome, and in Rome was where I got most of my things. And the very first thing that I got was a luxury purchase, and it's this Yves Saint Laurent wallet. I looked for the second-hand first here in the States, and what I found was that the second-hand items were almost as much as getting it new there in Italy after getting my refund back, and so I decided to get it there. It also made it extra special that I got it in Italy on this trip. Of course, it comes different sizes and styles. At first I thought I was just gonna get the card holder, which just holds your cards, and then he showed me, the clerk at the store showed me the one with the zipper, and so then I thought I was gonna get one with zipper. And then when I saw the one with the flap, I love this one more than the other ones, so I decided to go for this one. They also have it with different color hardware. They have it black on black, but I love my gold hardware, and so I decided to go for my gold hardware. And yeah, I love my little thing, and it's something that I will also treasure forever. Every time I look at it, I think about our trip in Italy, and it just brings me joy. This next piece is something that I also wasn't planning on getting. I walked into the store because I saw this lady sewing in an item, and there were clothing hanging, and so I figured that I'd walk in and find out what that was. And so it was a clothing store, and they made the clothes right there and there. And I saw that next to her was this little coat hanging, and I asked her about it, and she said, oh, it's not finished, and I'm not able to finish it because I don't have the machine to make the holes for the buttons. And I was like, oh, but I really like it, can I try it on? And so she's like, sure. And so I tried it on, and I loved it. It is a color that I did not have in my wardrobe. It is blue, but it's a turquoise blue, and it's a wool blend material. It is the one that I wore to come back home from Italy. I did not want to wear my long wool coat because it was too thick for the climate at the time. And so I wore that for the 16-20 hours travel that we did on our way back, and I was comfortable. It is something that I plan on DIYing because she couldn't finish it. She didn't have the machine to do the holes for the buttons. It is a very versatile piece that can be styled with denims if you're going for a very casual look, trousers if you want to be more elevated, or even over a dress. If anything, I can always wear it at home over a white tee and some sweats and just go outside for a fire and s'mores, which just sounds so good right now. But I think it has a lot of potential, and it's very special because I got it from this Italian lady that saw it. I saw her working on it, and it just feels like a nice big hug. I have tried quite a bit of white pants in store in the past, and I struggle to find a pair that I feel comfortable in. and that I think they look flattering on me. And when I tried this one, I was like, yep, that's it. This is one of my favorite cotton style of pants for my body type, but I also think they look great in most body types. And so when I went into the store, I saw a different color display, and I went in and asked the lady if she could give me a pair of the white ones. I didn't even tell her what size it was. She brought me one and they fit perfectly. They do have a gap on the waist, a very small one, but that's expected given my body type. But other than that, they fit as I want them to fit me and more. And so very glad I found those. I don't have to hem it. That's another thing. I am in the petite side, and most of the time I do have to hem my pants, but I don't have to hem this, and so I got lucky that way. They were very affordable given that they are made of a nice sustainable material. They are made in this thick cotton corduroy material, in 99% cotton and 1% elastane. Corduroy is a material that is trending right now, but I also don't think that they will ever go out of style. They are quite thick, so I wouldn't wear during the warmer months, which is fine. I do want them to work for me during the colder months, and so it works out. Obviously, a pair of white pants will go with everything. What I like about white pants, especially in this cut, is that because of it, they are more elevated compared to a blue pair of denims, for example. So it's easy to dress up, but obviously you can also dress them down depending on the shoe and the top that you wear. The next item was very much on my wish list, and I spoke about this 2 videos ago, and it is a pair of loafers. And I went everywhere, we were everywhere looking for this. I saw they had a lot of different loafers, but they were not quite the style that I liked them in. And so they had either like a big hardware up front, which I think those are very cute, but I wanted to be safe and get something that was more simplistic and kind of plain, so that I can wear them more often. And so then I come across these ones, and Kyle was like, you better get it, otherwise you're gonna regret it. And so I did ended up getting them. I tried it on and I thought about it for 10 minutes, and we have been looking for this since we got to Italy. So I did ended up getting them. I love them. I haven't styled them yet, but I plan to style them with denims or even trousers and skirts. A nice pair of chunky loafers that are also trending, but I also think that they're timeless, especially in this style. These are a pair of boots. It was supposed to be a replacement for my Dr. Martens lace-up boots. They ended up being half a size too big on me. I did not know they run large, and so I started wearing them and then realized that they were too big. I couldn't send them back, and so now I have it for sale on my Poshmark. And so I couldn't decide if I wanted to replace the same style of chunky lace-up boots or if I wanted a sleek one. And when I saw these ones at the store, I couldn't resist and I bought these ones instead. It's a pair of sleek lace-up boots. This is another example of I did not know I was gonna like it as much until I put it on, and then that was it for me. The guy at the store was like, you know, this style is more versatile because it will look great with skirts and dresses as well, not only with pants. And I was like, you're not wrong. And so I ended up buying them. He did also say that they have it online, and so I will try to find the name of the store and link it down below in case you're interested. But this was the outlets of that brand, and so I assumed that it was way more affordable than the regular store, but it is Italian leather made in Florence, which is the best place to get your Italian leather shoes. But yeah, I am very excited to style this, especially like the guy said at the store, with skirts and dresses. I think this style is a nice and sleek and versatile style, and almost a sexy one too. This other item was on our wish list, and it was a painting. We knew we wanted a painting for the house from Italy. And so we saw a couple in Venice, but we were not 100% convinced. And then when we got to Rome on our very last day, we saw this store. It was almost like a basement place where the guys had this painting around him. I couldn't video it because a video wasn't allowed, which I understand. But he has so many nice hand painted. I think his brother was the one that was painting them, and he was just selling them there. But we couldn't decide. There were so many good ones, and we struggled trying to settle on one, and we finally decided to settle on this one. And so I plan to frame it. I haven't found a picture frame to frame it yet, so I need to do that this weekend. And we plan to hang it either here in the living room or even the kitchen. But such a beautiful hand painted paint. and we are excited that we found it. So this last piece that I got for myself is where I have all my items laying on, and it is the suitcase. If you watched my pack with me video, you know that we brought a 2 standard size bag. So one was a carry-on and the other one was a bag to check in for the 2 of us. In flying during the colder months, so we're packing coats and thick sweaters and denims and things like that. That is not a lot for the amount of time that we spent there. So after buying everything we bought, we realized that we either had to pay for overweight because the bag still has space to carry more stuff, but it was at its max in weight. And so it's either paying extra money for overweight or buying another little bag and just bring 3 bags on the way back. And one of the wheels on my carry-on started like messing up, and though Kyle can fix that, but we do travel a lot, and so we figured that having an extra carry-on at home wasn't gonna hurt us, and so we decided to get this one. It is an Italian made brand, but they also have it online, though a little more expensive of course, but I'll still link it. I'm not gonna bore you with all the details and features about this bag. It is a nice material, though it's a hard case. It's a bendable material, and I love all this compartment that it has inside. Obviously we got convinced because we bought it. The guy at the store did go into detail explaining to us all the technical things about it, and so again I'll link it down below if you want to check it out. On our second day in Venice, first day at the island, after we saw my ring, we went to the store that made 100% cotton t-shirts, and some of them have funky designs, and so Kyle got 2 t-shirts and he got one for his boss slash friend from back home in Michigan. If you watch my Italy vlog, you'll know that we're looking for some leather goods for him, and so he also bought a leather jacket and a duffel bag, and so he was very happy about that. It is a couple of days later, and while editing this video, I completely forgot to film the tax refund portion of this video, and so I am back to talk briefly about that. The way it works, at least for Italy, is that out of the 24 tax percent that you get charged, you get 12 back, and they keep 12, and by they I mean Italy. And so obviously your purchases has to qualify for it, and so it has to be $150 or euros or more, and the store or retailer that you buy from has to be involved in that program, so they have to provide you with a form. So you go to your retailer to buy whatever it is that you're buying, and you have to show them your passport or a picture of it, and then they enter your information. They give you a form, which Kyle and I did not even need the form or to show at the airport. They just asked me for my passport, and they pull everything up, and they asked me if I wanted cash or money back to my car. And to avoid the difference currency and all that credit card stuff, I just asked for cash, and it was given to me right there and there. Some people say that you can download an app and you can start the process that way, but we found it easy enough that I did not see the need to download anything. And so just make sure that when you go to a retailer, especially if you're gonna spend a pretty penny, that you let them know or you ask them if they have that program, because if something costs over $150 and they don't offer that, and you can go to a next retailer that does offer that, then obviously I'll go for that one. Overall, it was a very easy process. It took us 25 to 30 minutes, and it was because the line was very long, but other than that, everything was good. And that is everything I bought in Italy. If you like this video, you know what to do. Hit the like button. It supports my channel tremendously, as well as subscribing if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, I think I got it.